The Vryn had conquered 47 star systems without a single defeat. Their crimson warships cast shadows across entire planets, and their clawed hands had signed treaties in the blood of weaker species. When they arrived at the human colony of New Arkhangelsk, they expected the usual pattern: surrender, subjugation, silence. They did not expect Elsa Morozova. The attack came at dawn. Vryn shock troopers materialized in the colony's central square, their chitinous armor gleaming like oil slicks under the pale sun. Commander Zreth, a towering figure with mandibles that could crush steel, raised his particle cannon toward the nearest human structure, a small wooden house with intricate carvings along its doorframe. Eliminate all resistance, Zreth clicked in his native tongue. Start with this dwelling. Before he could fire, the door opened. Elsa stepped out, barefoot despite the frost-covered ground. She was 17, slim, with hair the color of winter wheat and eyes that held depths the Vryn couldn't fathom. In her hands she carried nothing but a wooden mortar and pestle, ancient tools that seemed absurdly primitive against plasma weapons. You should leave, she said quietly and perfect. Vryn. The language scraped against human vocal cords, but she spoke it fluently. Zreth's mandibles spread in what his species considered laughter. A human child threatens the Vryn dominion? Not a threat, Elsa replied, grinding something in her mortar with slow, deliberate motions. A warning, Zreth fired. The plasma bolt should have vaporized her. Instead, it curved mid-flight, bending like light through water and dissipated harmlessly into the morning air. The Vryn commander's compound eyes widened. Impossible, he hissed. No species has that technology. It's not technology, Elsa interrupted. She stopped grinding and looked up, and for the first time, Zreth saw something in her expression that made his primal hindbrain scream danger. My mother taught me things your scientists don't believe in. Things older than your empire. Across the colony, another human emerged from the communications hub. Hassan Qureshi was 22, a colonial engineer with dark eyes and the kind of steady hands that could repair a fusion reactor blindfolded. He'd been Elsa's friend since childhood, one of the few who knew the truth about her family. Elsa, he called out, sprinting toward the square. Don't stay back, Hassan, she shouted without taking her eyes off Zreth. You know what happens if they push me. Hassan skidded to a stop at the square's edge. He did know. He'd seen it once before when raiders had tried to kidnap Elsa when she was 12. The memory still gave him nightmares. Zreth gestured, and 20 Vryn soldiers raised their weapons in unison. You are one. We are legion. Your parlor tricks mean nothing. Elsa tilted her head, and something ancient flickered behind her eyes. My mother is Baba Yaga, she who walks between worlds, she who commands the forest and the storm, she who built her house on chicken legs so it could walk away from those who would bind it. She tossed the contents of her mortar into the air. I am her daughter. And you just declared war on our family. The powder, if it was powder, didn't fall. It hung in the air, glowing with a light that existed in colors the Vryn couldn't name. Then it began to spread. The ground trembled. From the forest surrounding the colony, something stirred. The trees themselves began to move, their roots pulling free from frozen earth with sounds like breaking bones. They walked on gnarled appendages, converging on the square with the slow inevitability of glaciers. Retreat, Zreth commanded, but his soldiers couldn't move. The frost beneath their feet had become liquid without becoming water, holding them fast like amber. Above them, the sky darkened. Not with clouds, but with something else. A presence that pressed down with the weight of old magic. Older than FTL drives, older than the Vryn's empire, perhaps older than stars themselves. Elsa's voice changed, acquiring harmonics that shouldn't come from a human throat. My mother conquered death. She devours those who disrespect her hospitality. She has walked this universe since before your species crawled from your ocean. And you... She stepped forward, and the Vryn commander flinched. You threatened her daughter. Hassan watched from the edge of the square, his heart pounding. He'd contacted the Colonial Defense Force, but they were minutes away. Not that it mattered. The Vryn were learning what humanity had known for centuries. Some stories are real, some legends walk among us, and some old women who live in the woods are exactly as dangerous as the tales claim. Zreth tried to teleport. His emergency beacon flared, activated, and failed. Space itself had become sticky, refusing to let him leave. Please, he clicked, and for the first time in his military career, Commander Zreth of the Vryn Dominion begged. We did not know. We will leave. We will mark this system forbidden. Elsa studied him with those unsettling eyes. Then slowly she nodded. Go. Tell your empire that humanity is protected, not by weapons or fleets, but by things far older. Tell them we remember the ancient ways. Tell them we kept our monsters and they love us. The pressure released. The trees stopped moving. The frost became ordinary ice again. The Vryn soldiers scrambled for their teleport coordinates and vanished in flashes of purple light. Their retreat so hasty they left equipment behind. Hassan approached cautiously. Is your mother really... Does it matter? Elsa asked, her voice her own again. She looked exhausted, leaning on her pestle like a walking stick. They believed it. That's what matters in the end. Belief shapes reality more than people think. But Hassan had seen the trees walk. He'd felt that presence, and he remembered Elsa's mother, old Yaga Morozova, who lived in a house that always seemed to be in a different part of the forest than where you'd left it. Some things, he decided, were better left as mysteries. The Vryn never returned to New Archangelsk. Within a month, human space was marked as prohibited territory across the Vryn Dominion. The official reason was, indigenous population possesses reality manipulation capabilities. The unofficial reason, whispered in the dark spaces between stars, was simpler. They tried to kill a human girl, and learned too late that humanity's monsters weren't myths, they were mothers.